when we were pulling out of getting coffee, and there's like a feather sign out there, and it says, "We finance." And it took me a minute because I'm like, you have to really be into coffee to need financing. But then I realized, that's probably like the cabinet shop.
That is what it's for.
Like,
her husband owns that.
Oh, okay.
He was getting I don't know if you saw him. He got a coffee while we were there. Yeah, he's a good guy.
Like, just the proximity, I was like, that's very expensive coffee if you need financing for it as well. But hey everyone, and welcome back to the Homeology Podcast, a weekly conversation with your HVAC team here at Vertex Mechanical. We're glad you've taken a few moments as part of your day to laugh with us, maybe learn something new, and be inspired. Anyway, well, hey everybody, welcome back to the Homeology Podcast, our Season 3. And last week we had a great time with our guest, Rich McKee. And this week we have a very honored guest as well, a face you've seen before.
That's right.
The one and only Mr. Don Mumma. And we're so honored to have you here, Don.
Thank you. I'm honored to be here.
Yeah, and it's really exciting to talk shop with you and chat a little bit. Of course, this season we're having guests from all around the community come and share. And, of course, you live in the beautiful city of Lidditz.
That is correct, Lidditz, PA.
Yeah, and now you're commuting all the way north to Camp Hill.
Middletown,
right.
Middletown, Pennsylvania.
Right, and because you're a part of an amazing organization up there, which we're going to talk a lot about today. Also because we have some connections historically with that organization.
That's right.
And looking ahead. And so Don was, of course, a part of our team here at Vertex, and then almost a year ago started to begin transitioning in the summertime, early fall.
It was September.
Right? Yeah.
I started to transition. That's correct.
With PA Petroleum. And I remember when we were talking about it, I'm like, petroleum? We're like, you're in the oil business. Not quite.
Not quite.
Not quite.
We're in the education business.
Which took me a little bit to kind of orient around.
Yes.
But in my journey of discussing that with you and meeting Ted up there as well, I'm like,
Ted
this
Harris,
organization is really, really great. And I want more people to know about it, which is why we're like, we got to get Don on here. So why don't you take a few moments and talk about PA Petroleum first, and then I'll pick your brain about some things related to the industry and education, because always a valuable topic to discuss. And in this case, it's a real career-oriented education process. So share a little bit.
Yeah, Pennsylvania Petroleum Association is a petroleum association with 400 members delivering fuel in the state of Pennsylvania, okay. Oil or propane, and we represent the oil companies in Pennsylvania. Yeah.
Which that's a lot of where its roots are from. Obviously.
That's correct. That's where it originated.
Yeah.
And then PPATEC, which is Pennsylvania Petroleum Association Technical Education Center, is an education center, right, which I'm responsible for.
Yeah, and that technical education school isn't new, but it's been growing and expanding.
It's been growing over the last 5-6 years, diversifying in oil, HVAC, propane, air conditioning, communication training.
Right. It's a pretty broad scope of curriculum, isn't it?
It is. Yeah. We believe in hands-on training. We believe in lecturing, just a variety of training to meet the students' needs. Yeah. But I think the thing that separates us is we have 2 live fire labs that we do a lot of hands-on training in. Yeah.
I've always loved the FFA motto. I don't know if it still is today the same motto, but their motto was do to learn to do, and then the do to serve, I think, is the end part. I might have that a little wrong, but that's essentially what you're doing, right? It's learning to do and doing to learn. It's the hands-on approach there in the classroom.
Yep, we teach a lot of theory. We try to stay away from brand specific.
Yeah.
We try to do technical training and then just the theory behind how to repair things. Yeah. And like I said, we stay away from the specific brands.
Yeah.
Which sets us apart, I believe.
So I just learned recently that the HVAC industry within just the state of Pennsylvania is about $5 billion industry annually, which is
crazy.
It is crazy. And I was kind of feeling really proud about that. I was like, wow, what a great industry. I did look up what agriculture is in Pennsylvania.
What is it? I'm curious.
A little more. Somewhere around $88 to $90 billion agriculture industry. That's astonishing, and that's like direct
Probably all in
revenue.
Lancaster County.
Yeah, I think Lancaster must account for a huge, part
portion
of
of
that.
that. Yeah.
But the HVAC industry, nearly $5 billion in revenue, and so because of that, obviously it's a skilled job, skilled labor.
That's right.
And requires technical excellence in what you're doing. So we send our technicians up to the PPATEC school throughout the year for different training things, because we want to be excellent. We want to be continuous learners.
That's right.
But maybe, Don, I'm kind of curious. Of course, you've been in this industry for a while, and you've seen changes, you've seen shifts. How might you describe some of the changes in labor and maybe even attitudes towards labor over maybe the last 20, 30 years or so?
Yeah.
What's your perspective on that?
Well, the last I looked, there's 100,000 jobs available in the industry. Wow. Okay. And then I believe I know there's 20,000 people that are retiring.
Oh,
so that's a huge need for skilled labor.
Yeah.
And what I'm seeing is the workforce is getting older. I think the average age of an HVAC technician is 55, and it's getting older, and there's a big gap in between. Yeah. So you're seeing the skilled labor gap,
right.
The diversity of it. It's a wide range, and what happens is a lot of pressure gets put on the skilled HVAC guys, and the younger guys have to do some of the simpler tasks, and the older guys, more experienced, do the difficult tasks, and there's a learning gap there. So that's what PPATEC is all about. We're trying to take that gap and change it and equip the younger people to move closer to the skilled level side.
I think it was interesting. We were discussing recently some of the tasks that you're describing would have been considered fundamentally essential in the past. And we don't need to list all those, but it's like, well, you have to know this. And some of those tasks have now been replaced with an attitude of, if I can't fix it, that's okay. I will just replace it. Yeah, that's kind of the mantra now, which eventually just leads to higher consumer prices, higher equipment costs, and all of that stems from a little bit of technical ignorance.
I would say that the skill level of the technicians, especially the guys that have not been in the industry real long, it's more of a replace mentality. Yeah. And it's really not fair to some of the consumers, because the consumer should have the ultimate choice of repair versus replace. Yeah. And we have to change that skill gap so that those guys know how to fix things.
That's right. Yeah. And so in some respects, there's models out there, business models, if you call it a model, that is actually monopolizing or monetizing that attitude of, well, we know we don't have the technicians that are trained enough to do repair,
so we're just going to end up condemning it
and
replacing it, or saying it's unsafe, and it's just not right.
Yeah, and we have stories to tell from customers that we've gotten to serve where we'll go in and make, other company X said that this was doomed to failure or already has. We've even had times when they've said, hey, they told us this part was bad. And we're like, ma'am, you don't even have that part in your system.
That's right.
And so where that leaves us is with an acknowledgement of, we'll fall prey to that unless we partner with institutions like PA Petroleum.
That's right.
To get the training that we need. So we're doing that not just with young technicians, but with all the technicians that are present.
Yeah, we support some of the guys that have been in the industry. Some people struggle maybe with low voltage electric training, and we have classes like that just to support and help the guys troubleshoot. Yeah,
and especially since the technological advancements that are increasing are so fast, so rapid, that there's a need for retraining. And most industries understand that, right?
That's right.
You got to keep getting trained. You got to keep getting trained. And now we're talking about refrigerant changes and SEER rating changes, and so the opportunity
is there, and it's wide, and there's. Let's just face it. The employees in the HVAC industry have to be continually learning. Yeah. You have to stay after it. Yeah. It never stops, and we're committed to helping people grow.
I know one of the things that was exciting for me is when I would talk to some of our technicians that had finished up a course, or like the low voltage one that you said, a lot of times the technicians were able to say, I know how to do the thing that fixes it, but I didn't know why it fixed it.
The training often connects the dots.
It does. And so they're like, really what it does. All of a sudden I know the theory behind what I was doing. And when those light bulbs come on, the confidence is exponential.
Yep.
And now they're like, oh, I know exactly how, and I know exactly why I'm about to do that. And it got me so excited. So I was so grateful for those opportunities that we have. And a new opportunity, of course, that we're going to have here is we have a really great relationship with our local school district, of which you get to go hang out with today.
I'm going to be at Cocalico High School today for their lunch period, talking about HVAC and our 10-week program.
Yes, and I'm thrilled by that because we've had some interns from Cocalico High School that have been with us and that now are going to be joining your 10-week training program this
July,
summer.
That's right. Yeah.
And then they are immediately coming back and being a full-time part of our team. It's an amazing career path that they can have clarity on and confidence in right out of the gate.
It's a great opportunity for somebody that is mechanically inclined, likes using their hands, meeting new people. They don't have to go to a traditional college. Right. They can come to our place. It's 10 weeks. It gives them a solid base of the industry, air conditioning, heating, gas heating, oil heating, propane heating, and electric. And it allows that student to be focused for 10 weeks and then get out into the industry. Yep. And quite frankly, they're not going to be, the tuition is $12,000, so it's very reasonable. Yep. And I can almost guarantee 100% that person's going to get a job.
Yeah, exactly.
You guys are going to be sponsoring somebody,
right,
but we do have students that pay their own tuition. Yep. And I help them get placed in the industry, which is extremely exciting.
It's so exciting. It's so rewarding. And I love getting to talk about it with you and with others. I love talking about it with families as well who have such a peace and such an assurance. Again, you said 100,000 job openings in the industry.
Yep. And 20,000 people are retiring.
That's right.
There's a gap.
There's a gap, and this helps to satisfy that.
That's right.
And so I said to Don this morning, I was like, I already know who's going to be in your class a year from now.
That's right. You already have 2 people lined up.
We do.
Yeah.
I'm thrilled by that. So thank you for your partnership with the local school as well as with contractors like ourselves. And I know that this is kind of you might not have ever known about PA Petroleum. That's not an uncommon thing for you to hear.
That's right. People in Lancaster County, people in Harrisburg don't know about us because it's kind of a hidden gem. It really is. Yeah. And we do a great job with equipping skilled people that are currently in the industry. And then a part of my role would be workforce development and recruiting and bringing new talent into the industry. Yeah. And I'll tell you what, it's a great career for somebody maybe coming out of high school that's not set on going to a traditional college. People will always need heating. People will always need air conditioning. It's not going to go away. Yeah. And quite frankly, with that labor gap, wages are very good, very decent. People can make a very solid living off of being an HVAC technician or a plumbing technician.
Well, so Don, thanks for sharing a little bit about that. Obviously, we are grateful that Vertex has a partnership with PA Petroleum and the school. And actually, a little sidebar there, there's some old pictures that I'm going to throw up here kind of as we wrap up because some of the classroom spaces there were designed and installed
by Jared Fox.
That's right.
He did a great job.
Vertex team member.
People that come in for training are usually in awe of the very nice job that Jared did with the piping within the one classroom. Yeah. It's excellent. Yeah, I would definitely encourage you to post that.
Yeah, and we also have some team members that show up not just to take the classes, but also to share at different times, and we're honored by that partnership. If you'd like to learn more about PA Petroleum, I'm going to put the website here as well. I'd encourage you to find it and learn some more about it, especially the educational opportunities. And I don't mind sharing the secret hidden gem.
That's right.
Because it's been a blessing to us. It's been a great resource. And Don, I'm always grateful for your insight. Thanks for being a part of our podcast today.
I love it.
Hope you have a great time with the students over at Cocalico, our Cocalico Eagles. Yes,
let's go.
Love it. Let's go. So thanks for joining us again, and we hope you'll visit PA Petroleum and that you'll join us again next week for another podcast. Have a great day. Hey, thanks again for joining us today. As always, we hope you enjoyed your time with us and that you'll return again next week. And if you need to get a hold of us, just visit vertex-mechanical.com to call or email.